Hey, sweet friends. All right, so tonight we're going to do a chicken casserole. I have some chicken here. We're going to season it up in just a second. I have some water over here boiling. We're going to get our pasta going. This chicken casserole is going to be uh, I am basing this around our buttered noodles that I made the other day that were so insanely good. I've made buttered noodles before. I did them a little bit different that day and they are outstanding, as I've already told you. So this is going to be like a version of like the buttered noodles, but we're going to turn it into a casserole. We're going to have chicken. I'm going to add a packet of our Italian seasoning that I like so well. We're going to do some cheese. I don't know what all. It's just my mind's been going. So we're going to see. All right. And so our water is boiling. In my water here, y'all, I have about 6 cups of water. Now, I normally don't measure stuff like that, of course. But I did tonight because our liquid that we're going to be adding to our casserole is all going to come from this liquid here, or most of it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and see, instead of adding like chicken broth and all of that to our casserole, I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken bouillon to our pasta water, and then I'm going to also add some heavy whipping cream, just like I did the other night for our buttered noodles, and it turned out so good. So that's why I measured how much water I had, so I would kind of have an idea about how much bouillon to put in here, okay? So I'm going to put in about 3 teaspoons because if you've ever used this, you know that half a teaspoon is about equivalent to 1 cup, whereas with the little bit more for good measure. Whereas, you know, like the little cubes, 1 cup, or 1 cube is 1 cup. This, it's half a teaspoon, 1 cup, okay? I don't know if it's good, and the flavor of that is so much better than the bouillon cubes. I absolutely love it, and I'm getting low on it. I gotta get some more. All right, so we've got that in, and a lot of this is going to cook out, so it's not like we're wasting a lot, because those noodles are going to soak this up, and then we're going to reserve what we have left. All right, and so for our heavy cream, I think I'm going to start with about 1 cup. Okay. Yeah. All right, now we have just got to, let's see, y'all know I like to do this. We just got to let this come back up to a boil. It won't take but just a second. And we're going to toss in our egg noodles. Tonight we're using these big ones here, the no yolk. And once we get all that going, like I said, we're going to season up our chicken. Y'all, I think this is going to be a delicious new chicken casserole for us. You know, my other chicken casserole, or one of them, has been one of my most popular recipes yet, which, you know, is surprising. You never know what everybody's going to like. So when I put something out there, sometimes I think, okay, everybody's going to love this, and then it, you know, it really doesn't go anywhere, and then just some things just go and some don't. I mean, and a lot of times it just has to do with the algorithm and if Facebook wants to push my stuff or if they don't. You know how it goes. But anyway, that one chicken casserole has been like the most popular one of all. And so anyway, I thought the other day, those egg noodles, I've got to make other recipes to go with those because they were so good. Anyway, well, this is already coming up to a boil, so we'll go ahead and get these things put in there. Now remember, you don't need nowhere near as much water for your egg noodles to boil, and you don't have to boil them nowhere near as long. I mean, like, they cook so fast, and since this is a casserole and we're going to put them in the oven, we certainly don't want to overcook them. I know I say that every time, but that's just the way it is. All right, so this is coming up to a boil. This is a 12-ounce bag, so let's see. Let's just go ahead and do all of them. If I don't use all of them in the casserole, y'all know I'll use them for something else. There went Belle. She didn't like that sound of the bag. I'm done with that, Bill. You can come back. But as you can see here, it's not just overloaded with liquid. You know, it'll be good. That liquid will still be good what we get out and reserve to add into our casserole. So anyway, 12 ounces egg noodles, whatever kind you want, or you can use any kind of pasta you want for this. Y'all know this is just one thing that I always go for. But I'm going to let those boil. Once they start coming up to a simmer, I'm going to look at the clock and I'm going to kind of give you an idea of about how long I let them boil, okay? Okay, y'all, real quick, while these are boiling, we're going to season up our chicken. I have 3 big, boneless, skinless chicken breast here. And I didn't pound these out or anything with my meat tenderizer like I do a lot of times just because I was cutting them up. I just cut them up in chunks. I did like strips and then cut them in pieces, okay? I have just a little bit of my Italian seasoning here. Y'all know, like I use in the pack. This is the Walmart brand, but this is what it is. It's the same thing. I have just maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon in here, so I'm going to use this. And I'm just going to sprinkle that over. Alright. And then I'm going to take, since I don't have much of that, I'm going to take some of my Kinders, the blend. Y'all know that I've been loving. Now, you can season your chicken with anything you want. You know, like I always tell y'all, this has salt in it. It has just about anything you want. So, you don't really have to worry much about anything else. I'm going to do just a little bit of parsley. Smells good already. Let me make sure pasta's cooking up good. Oh yeah. And I'm going to do just some black pepper. This is one of those good little one-pot meals, y'all. I'm putting my glove on because I'm going to drizzle these in some olive oil. And then just toss them. And of course you can use rotisserie chicken. That's actually what I was going to do today. I thought of it late, and so I called up to my little grocery store because up there you about have to reserve a chicken or you're not going to get one. I called up there and I knew they probably didn't, but I thought, well, I'll try anyway. I said, do y'all have any chickens left? And he said, no. I said, okay, thanks. So I just got me some chicken breast and doing it myself, but rotisserie chicken be fine, or even leftover chicken. I'm going to put a little bit more of this on there. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do to this, y'all. I'm just going to let this sit here and hang out until our egg noodles get done. And then in that same skillet, we're going to cook this up a little bit before we mix it all together. And then we'll take that out and we'll kind of make up our buttered noodles, and then we'll mix it all together. We're doing it on the same pot, except the only thing is we're going to be doing it in different steps. Y'all know how I am. But this is like I said, this is an experiment. So I love getting on here with y'all and kind of trying to explain to you how I put things together and try, because people ask me all the time about how do you do your recipes and this and that, and this is it. Y'all are getting to see it. But anyway, I'll be back in a second. Okay, y'all, our noodles are over here drained and just hanging out. Y'all know I always cool them off to keep them from cooking. Oh, and I let them do just a slow, low simmer for 6 minutes, okay? 6 minutes, that's all they need. All right, so now I'm just going to take about half a tablespoon or tablespoon or so of butter. And y'all see all this on the pan, that's just from our noodles, that's okay. We're not going to worry about that. And I'll add just a little bit of oil with it so it don't burn. And then we're just going to cook up our chicken. Let's see, let me put this up. I think no more chicken than we have here. I can do it all in one go in this big old skillet. But now if you're using a smaller skillet, you might want to do it in batches. But y'all, those chicken breasts were so pretty. I was going to show them to y'all, but I thought, well, that'll make the video so long, because I would have had to show them before I got them out and trimmed them up and cut them and got all this other stuff ready. But they look so good. They were, I went ahead and got a big pack and had 7 in there. So I used 3 tonight, and then I have the other 4. We'll do something else with those. I don't know what we'll do, if we'll do something the next day or 2, or if not, I'll put them in the freezer and we'll do something then with them. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just start putting this in. I'm just gonna put it in all in one go, y'all. Let's see here. Let's just grab something that I can toss in the dishwasher. Yeah, it's more than it looks like whenever you get it here in this this pan. It's just kind of cut up in bite-sized pieces. And of course, you know, as it cooks, it may, you know, some of it pull apart a little bit, and that's good. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do though. I like to see some good seasoning on my stuff like this whenever I'm cooking it. So I'm gonna sprinkle on a little bit more black pepper. And I'll probably add some more of that Italian seasoning to it in a minute. Now remember, we're going to add that we added that little bit of Italian seasoning that I had in that packet. Now if you don't have that, don't worry about it. Just use one. Just use some of this. But we're going to add this in our whole little mixture thing. So that's going to be different. My one chicken casserole that everybody likes so well, if y'all remember, we add a little bit of ranch in it, like a tablespoon. But it's more potent and has a lot more salt and all that, so I don't add the whole packet of it, but I think I'm going to do the whole packet of the Italian. Anyway, y'all, nothing to see here now. I'm just going to cook this up, let it get a good color on it, y'all know, and then I'm going to get this out, and then we're going to toss our noodles in here and butter them up where they're so good. And then everything's going in here, and then everything's going in the casserole dish. Alright, y'all, just as y'all see here, I'm just picking up this chicken, and some of the pieces I felt like were a little bigger than I wanted them to be. I should have cut them a little smaller. So I'm just taking my scissors, y'all. This is the best. Scissors is one of the best kitchen utensils you could possibly have. I've got them everywhere in here. And anyway, I'm just kind of cutting some of the pieces in half. And they may not completely fall apart in half, but that's okay. They will eventually. So I'm just letting them fry up some. And I put my apron on because that chicken was popping everywhere. And I have my favorite little PJs on. If y'all didn't notice, I'm wearing PJs tonight on here. I just got comfy. And I thought, oh no, I don't want grease all over these. But they're just so comfy and cozy. And, but y'all know I'm always in comfy clothes anyway, but I try not to. I know a lot of you probably wonder why I wear some of the same shirts over and over and this and that. Well, that's why, because I'm so picky about my clothes getting messed up. So I just have certain shirts that I wear while I'm cooking. I've always been that way back whenever even, you know, I worked. As soon as I got home, I would change and I just put me on an old t-shirt and whatever, because I don't like getting my clothes messed up. I'm very picky about my laundry, about how my clothes are washed and folded and all of that. Y'all let me know if y'all are like that. It's just one of those things that I'm kind of very particular with. My grandmother was the same way. I mean, like hanging them up, I like them to be facing a certain way, and that sort of stuff. I've kind of eased up about it as I've gotten older, but still, I just don't, like if I have, I'm so funny about if I get a new outfit, I may not wear it for the longest time because I feel like I'm saving it for something. Like, oh no, I don't want to wear that to that. I'm saving it, and I'm saving it, and I'm saving it. And it's like, why have you not worn this? It's not like you're going to the Grammys or somewhere. You know, like that, I do that, and then before you know it, it's just plumb out of style by the time I wear my new shirt or whatever that I was so proud to have. Y'all let me know if you're like that. If you are, you know, you tell me if you save good stuff or new stuff and don't want to wear it because you think you're saving it for something. Like what big event am I going to wear this to? And then there ends up not being no big event. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to just let this chicken keep cooking. I want some of them little brown specks on most of it, and I'll come back. Okay, y'all, I am going, here's our chicken. Boy, don't that look good. It smells good. I'm thinking this would be good on a salad, or I'll try to leave some of that butter in there, but this would be good on a salad. You could do a wrap, like a chicken bacon ranch wrap or something with it. Oh, it'd be good. And this is, I would say this is completely done. They're little bitty small pieces, but if you want to do the, you know, the thermometer thing and all that, I don't ever do that. I just, y'all know, I tell you, I overcook my chicken anyway, because that's just how I like it. Alright, so now it is time for the star of the show. We're going to start our butter noodles to go with all this other stuff. So we're going to start, even though we're doing the whole package of the pasta, I'm still going to do half a stick like we did the other night, okay? Alright, I'm just going to let that melt down. I'm going to kind of clean up and wipe up here, you know, from where that chicken fries everywhere, and I'll be back. Alright, so I have our little plate here of stuff that we're going to put in there, and we're going to, of course, start with our garlic. I have about 4 or 5 cloves here, quite a bit. There's a lot of pasta, and that's just, I'm telling you, this is what makes it. So quite a bit, and I just chop it up big and chunky. You can mince it or shred it, however you want to do. And then this here is some of the sun-dried tomatoes. I love these, and this is optional, but I thought, well, that will be really good in that casserole. Where's my spoon at? Hang on a second. There it is. They're really good with like a buttery garlic pasta. They just go with stuff like that. So I am going to use some of them. I got them out, maybe about 2 tablespoons. You know, we've talked about these before. You can get these in the aisle they will be like right there around the diced tomatoes and all of that. Usually on the top shelf up there, you'll see them. They'll be in a little jar. They're packed in olive oil. These are the julienne, so they're already sliced up, but sometimes they're going to be in bigger pieces, and you chop them up. But these are so good. They just give a great flavor, and like picky eaters won't even really notice them because they're so small, and just like Braden, I've made plenty of dishes with these, and put them in there, and he doesn't like tomatoes, and he never said a word, just loved the dish. So you can kind of sneak these in a lot better than you can like a can of diced tomatoes. Now you can add that in here too if you want to, a can of diced tomatoes. I thought about maybe adding some, but I thought I don't want a whole can for sure. If I would have had some fresh tomato, I probably would have just diced it up and threw it in. But anyway, I thought, well, I've got those sun-dried tomatoes, we're going to toss that in. So again, we're doing, this is a recipe in the making right here. All right, so let's go ahead and toss in our sun-dried tomatoes. And it comes in this good olive oil. It's really good. And then I have some cream cheese here we're going to put in here in a second. Get our sauce mixture made up, okay? All right, y'all, I'm going to get my hands washed up and just let these cook around for a second, and I'll come back and we're going to add a few more things in before we add our pasta back in. All right, y'all, let's get this thing going. So now I'm going to do just a few pieces of our crushed red pepper. This is optional. You see there, just a tiny bit. That may be close to 1/8 of a teaspoon since we're doing, we're adding a lot more stuff tonight. I'll do a little bit more. And remember, the tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, are also optional. You do not have to add those. And I'm going to do just a tiny bit of oregano, just like I did the other night. A small amount, because we're going to be adding our Italian seasoning packet, so we don't need much. We've got those. We're going to do a little bit of parsley. Let's see, probably about a good teaspoon of our dried parsley. What you doing, Belle? I see you over there. She's coming here. I don't know if y'all can see her. There she comes. Y'all see her over there? Where'd she go? Oh, she's under the table. There she is. She's just moseying around. Alright, let me concentrate on what I'm doing here. Alright, so now we're going to add a little bit of pepper. So we did, what, about a teaspoon of parsley. I'm just going to add some black pepper. And some good butter here. I need to turn my oven on 350. Alright, let's go ahead and toss our pasta in and get this thing on. Get this thing going. Alright, so let's see here. I'll put a little bit of melted butter in here, if you can see those little white pieces. Let's see. I'm going to start with that. We may end up adding all of it. I don't know yet. Y'all. I think we're going to have us another good little dish. And I'm sorry, I know this video is going to run long. It just does whenever I am, especially whenever I'm doing something new like this with y'all. And y'all let me know, would you rather me go ahead and like maybe try it myself, or just go ahead and have an exact recipe before I get on here and do it? Or are y'all okay just going along with me as I put it together? Y'all let me know, because I want to do what I want to give y'all what y'all want to see. You know what I'm saying? So if you like watching, the idea of all of it coming together, and and me not knowing and y'all not knowing, that's great. I love to share that with y'all. But if you don't, I completely understand. So y'all let me know what you would rather me do, okay? And just be honest. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You can always give respectful honesty, or give honesty in a respectful way. All right, so now we're going to do some of our grated parm. Let's see. That's about 1/4 of a cup. Let's do about 1/3, 1/4 to 1/3. Y'all know, however much you want to do. We're going to mix that up real good. Y'all see Belle? She's just laying there under the table. Y'all may not can see her. She does that a lot. She'll just sit there and just watch everything. Oh, there she went again. Okay, I'm gonna let this hang out for about 2-3 minutes, and then we're gonna get our chicken in and everything, and get this thing tossed into our casserole dish. All right, y'all, let's start adding our liquid. Remember, this is our pasta water, our broth, our heavy cream. It's just all of those things in one. I have 2 cups here that I reserved. So let me tell y'all, so what I did, whenever I need to save like this much, a lot of times whenever I go to drain it, I will put a bowl underneath it, and then I'll, pour it in my cup or whatever. So, we started with 6 cups, and then we put, 1 cup of heavy cream in there. Well, what was left was 2.5 cups. Isn't that crazy how quick it goes down, and just how that pasta absorbs all of it? It's amazing. But yeah, so I still have that 1/2 cup over here if I need it. But that's how quick it goes down. All right, so now I have about 4 ounces of cream cheese here. We're going to have to try to melt in here. I'm thinking I maybe should have put that heavy cream and pasta in a saucepan with this cream cheese and kind of melted it up before I poured it in here. But, that's like I tell y'all, figure it out as you go. I don't think it's going to take it too long because it's been sitting out. It's good room temperature, so we're just going to get that good and mixed in. I wish y'all could smell this. Oh, man. It smells so good. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead. Let me get this cranked up. Let's go ahead. We're going to toss our chicken in. We are going to, I'm looking over here to see all of my all of my stuff I have sitting out here. Now we have our Italian seasoning packet. We're going to start sprinkling in some of that. I always do that. I never cut it low enough on this little pack. There we go. Okay, and sprinkle that around in there. We'll start with about half a pack, but I do plan to add more. Let's see. I have this little bit of parm. I'm going to add some of that in. I'm going to add some on top too. And I grated up some cheese. This is just some Kobe Jack, Monterey, and sharp cheddar. You use any kind of cheese you want. So we're going to add in some of that. Maybe, what was that? About a third or fourth of a cup, I'd say. Y'all are going to be like, you killing me, you killing me. Alright, so we're just going to let this all get good and hot. Alright, y'all. Let me just let this all get good and combined and everything melted, and I'll come back and we'll see what we need to do after that. I got to think about it for a second. Hey y'all, here's what I've decided to do. I'm going to go ahead and put the other 4 ounces cream cheese. Put a whole thing in here. And the reason why I say that is because it helps to it's going to help to kind of thicken it up, because I want to put some more of our liquid in there. Now, of course, you can do cornstarch or flour, all that, but I just assume just do cream cheese because I think the flavor is amazing. And I put the rest of our liquid that we had left in here. It was actually about 3/4 of a cup, so we were left with 2 3/4 of a cup. So since I put that in there, I'm going to put a little bit more of this. That was about 1/4 of a cup, and now I'm just going to let this sit here and melt down, because remember, we want to cook this a minute in the oven, so we're going to have a little bit of liquid. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all, I snuck a little taste of one of these noodles, and goodness gracious. I know I say it every time, but y'all, we've done good with this one. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, y'all, I'm going to finish this up so I can let y'all know what I did. This is just what I'm deciding on to finish it. I'm going to go ahead, put the rest of this liquid in there. So that's going to give us 2 3/4 cup of liquid. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the whole packet of the Italian. Okay. So your liquid, it can be, if you didn't want to do your pasta water, you could always just do 2 cups of chicken broth and the 3/4 cup of heavy cream, or you could go ahead and do 1 cup. That way it'll make it easier for you. So just know about 3 cups of liquid, regardless of which one you decide to use. Chicken broth, heavy cream, a combo between those two. I did a whole block of cream cheese, whole packet of the Italian seasoning, and then y'all seen all the other stuff that we did before that. Oh, and then in here I tossed in some parm, a handful of shredded cheese, and I believe that is it. And our garlic, our sun-dried tomatoes. I think that's all of it. I'm going back over it just because I know it's probably going to be confusing for y'all, and I don't want it to be. But yeah, we tossed in a handful of cheese, the parm, and now we're just going to toss it in our casserole dish, y'all. I think that cream cheese is melted enough. And I'm just going to spray this a little bit. We're going to put it in there. I've got the oven set on 350. And let's see, let me back you up so I can bring it over here so y'all can see how good this thing looks. I tell you what, it looks so good. And that noodle was delicious, y'all. I tell you what. All right, here we go. Y'all, I appreciate y'all hanging in there with me. My little kitchen here. All right, look at that. Oh my goodness. Does that not look fabulous? And trust me, when you make it, if you jot all this down, it's going to be so much easier than what it looks than, you know, me sitting here trying to decide, well, what do I want to do and how much of this and that. You know what I'm saying. Like next time I make it, I'll be able to throw it together in minutes, you know. But yeah, you see we still have that little bit of liquid in there, which is great since we're going to cook it for a bit. This is perfect. Perfect, y'all. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to top it off with a little bit of parm. Just like that. And, oh yeah, I'm going to use the rest of this just because I've got it. You don't have to. I've got this in the fridge and it needs to be used up. This is just the shredded parm, what it is. Okay. Then I have our other cheese here. I'm going to put some of it on here. And I don't even think I'm going to cover this. I think I'm just going to pop it in there for maybe 20-25 minutes, and I think it will be good to go. Okay. A little parsley, y'all know, for a little color. Okay, y'all, I'm going to put this in there and clean up a little bit, and whenever I come back, hopefully we'll have a good, delicious casserole. All right, y'all, our casserole is done, and it is a beauty. I'll tell you what. Now, I was going to tell you, if you wanted to do the crushed, you know, like Ritz crackers or whatever on top, you certainly can. I don't do that much because I don't know, I just don't. But look at this. I did about 25 minutes on 350 uncovered. It's perfect. You know, add to it whatever you want. Broccoli, you could add bacon. You can take away, make it, you know, when you make it, it's your casserole. You know, I always tell y'all that. So let's get us some out here. I'll probably have to let it cool for a second before I try it, but goodness gracious. Let's see here. Look at this, y'all. Oh, man. Look at that. Doesn't that look good? And y'all also let me know, like I said, I know this video ran so long, and I apologize. But y'all let me know if this is something you want to see sometimes. Now, of course, it's not going to be every time, every video, but just if I have a crazy idea of something new that I want to make, would y'all like for me to come on here and put it together with y'all for the first time, you know? And I don't mind it a bit. I love talking with you and explaining things as I do it. But then again, I want to, you know, put out content that y'all like. So, all my good little followers, I would never want to do something to run you off. Hang on, let me get this towel over here. There we go. And what I love about, y'all know I've told you this too before, when you do casseroles or stuff like this that you can throw in the oven, then you have time to do all your cleanup. That's what I love. Like, I got my stove all cleaned up. I got that skillet washed and dried, and it's put away. And, like, I can sit down and enjoy my meal so much better if I know I don't have a big mess waiting for me. Y'all know what I mean. And look at this, y'all. I tell you what, this is something else. And also clean as you go. You know, when you do your prep work, then you know, kind of clean up, and that way you know, I hear a lot of people say, well, I don't mind cooking, I just don't like the mess. Well, I don't like it either. I don't think anybody necessarily likes it, but do it as you go, and it's not that bad. Ooh, this thing's hot, but y'all, this may be one of my new favorite casseroles right here. I've never done one and put that Italian seasoning in there like that, and just this whole combination. I've never done one like this. This is more like, you know, you see those recipes, and the reason why I'm talking is because this is so hot. Y'all probably thinking, go ahead and take a bite, shut up. It's just hot. But this is more like what you would call creamy Italian, you know, because people make recipes and they do the Italian, and then I guess creamy stuff like this, I don't know, but that's what I'd call it, creamy Italian. Now I gotta think of a name for this. Delicious, y'all. This is divine. I'll tell you what, Braden will love this. I can't wait to text him and tell him that I've got this for him. Which, let's see, alright, so the weekend's coming up, so he won't need it for his lunch, but well, sometimes he might work on Saturday, but not often. But he'll have it to eat on. So y'all, I want y'all to make this weekend. Y'all make this casserole. Make this for your Sunday dinner, some veggies to go with it, or a salad, some garlic bread. Outstanding, y'all. I don't think I would change a thing. It is perfect. Anyway, like I said, I've been on here 36 minutes, but I enjoy it. Like I said, I enjoy talking with y'all and just explaining new and different things. And y'all know I learn along the way, just like y'all do. And you just got to get in there and you just got to try it, and it either works or it don't. And then so next time you do something different. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to get off here. I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.